Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be talking about the new heroes that we have gotten into the game. They're absolutely nice, but they're not that fantastic. I've tested them, I looked at their kit. I didn't fully test everything, so I'm not gonna give my final verdict on them. I will do that in the next video, maybe in another video when I update the tier lists and I update the fighters. But so far they're looking fine. I'm happy that they are not just characters that are Master and Infernal just like in the game. They're now Fire and they are Wind. So we're gonna talk about them first. And first of all, I just wanna say the happy 1.5 anniversary. 1.5 years have been passed since we were playing this game and they gave us this bundle. 28 days login rewards, absolutely all types of summons. That means that after 28 days we will have the summoning event for divination and we're gonna have the 50% as traditionally that we have every 6 months, which is absolutely fantastic, which means you're gonna get, how much is this, 10, 20, 30, 50, 30, 40, okay, 40 tickets of divination. This is the most important thing for me, which is the divination, since I am now at 100 and you can accumulate more diamonds and get more. So my 100 summoning tickets will be 200 summoning tickets with the 50%. Whatever character is there, it's always as free to play, as low spenders, that you don't have a lot of currency and you don't summon a lot. You need to go and summon for the character that is featured, even if it was worthless. Which jury was nice so far. Balrog was absolutely garbage, but we summoned him and we got the extra levels. 5 extra levels, as you see. I'm capped on my levels and that's what's important for me as free-to-play player, because now I need to build the new character that we have and build everything else. So we got the new event, of course. Go and do it, go and collect everything. I'm gonna do teams and show you the teams that I've been running. And we have the effigy, don't forget about it. This will start soon. In 20 days it will end, and every day you can go and collect your rewards from here. So go and click it and collect your rewards. Now, first of all, let's talk about the new character, the Cammy. I forgot her name, what it is. So we go to the gallery and she's a fire faction. Absolutely fantastic. I like that. She deals a lot of damage. She's a contestant with Dalsum and Viper for the damage. Is she better than Cammy and Vega, the ones? We still don't know actually. Her damages are okay, she's good. She deals good amount of damage, but it's not continuous damage, which is the minor thing, and she doesn't deal flame damage, or she doesn't deal burn, which is continuous damage. We're gonna be talking about all of that. First of all, we're gonna appreciate her art, absolutely fantastic. She's an agility unit, it means she have a lot of dodge and crit rate, and the crit damage is really good. And she's a power character, it means she's a hard carry, and she has a C2 and a C3 with her super, of course. And the thing about her, she passively triggers her super, and her super deals good amount of damage. We'll be talking about that. So let's start about her passive. Her passive is really solid. It's coordinated with her Razor Drill, which is her super. We'll be talking about that, and it's interesting. So after unleashing any combo, not a super combo. So if she unleashes her super combo, her passive will not trigger. It's any combo. It means her C2 and her C3. Razor Drill level 1. It starts at level 1. They say at level 3 in the end. Yeah, it goes to level 3. So Razor Drill will be unleashed one time. This is considered a trigger skill. Good. After unleashing Razor Drill as a trigger skill 3 times, the damage bonus of the next Razor Drill that is unleashed as a trigger, not as a super, will be increased by 50%, so she will increase the damage by 50%. Now this is, it didn't say that it's one time it will increase by 50%. Probably after the 3rd time that you use it, or the 4th time, she will increase it another 50%, and this is what will make her even good with long fights. But as we know here, we have long fights as for 120 seconds, and that's it. So there's always a catch in this area. So level 2, after unleashing a Razor Drill as a trigger skill 3 times, the damage bonus for the next one goes to 70% and gains damage immunity when unleashing Razor Drill as trigger passive. So if she goes and unleash it as trigger, she will gain damage immunity throughout the duration of the skill that she's doing it as a trigger. And when it ends, the damage immunity will get removed, which is really good because she have another skill that gives her damage immunity. We'll talk about that later. At level 4, after unleashing the super as a trigger skill 3 times, the damage will increase by 90%, which is really good. So 90% damage increase, and the next time they say that it will increase by 90%. They don't say until the end of the battle. So what I think here is every time she gets the trigger, it will be multiplied by 90%, which is really good. Of course, if you unlock her resonance and get the EX, it will give her, and get it to 3 stars, she will gain 100% triggering damage, not 90%, which is really good. Let's talk about her super. So jump and continuously attack the nearest enemy, deal damage that is equal to 300%, 15% of attack. Now continuously, it's not like until the end of the battle, or will always deal the damage and the damage will be on the battle. We tried this, I tried the super and stopped and checked if the damage will be continuous. No, it's continuously while she's doing the razor drill. That's it. So it will accumulate, so she can be stopped in the middle of it and it will not continue the attack. So it can be interrupted if you use the super, okay? Keep that in mind. Then deal damage that is equal to 293% of attack to enemies in a small area. This is good as an AoE, but it will attack the nearest enemy first, then it will attack everybody else. If this skill is manually unleashed, the damage bonus of the next trigger skill will be increased by 20%. So it will save it and record it. It will not stack up. They didn't say anything about stacking. The first time you use the super, the next trigger skill by her, if she uses like super C3 or if she uses her C2, she will apply the trigger skill and the trigger skill will have a 20% more damage. Now, of course, it will stack up with the 90% that you're gonna get by using it 3 times by the end of the fight. If this skill is manually unleashed, the damage bonus will increase to 35%, then it will go up to 50%. So 50% more and 90. If you get it to 100, that's 150%, which is decent actually for a damage. Now, it doesn't say flame damage, it doesn't say it's soul damage, it doesn't say any type of damage, it's normal physical damage, which can be mitigated by defense and damage immunity or damage reduction. These all factors make it so important to understand that, because it's the thing that will define her damage if she's a top tier unit or not. Her C2, again, deal damage that is equal to 213% of attack to the nearest enemy, then deal damage equal to 264% of attack to enemies in a small area. After unleashing this skill, this fighter's attack will increase by 15% for the duration of the next trigger skill. So she will increase her damage bonus by 15% in total for her attack for the trigger skill that she will unleash later. It means when you hit her C2, it will immediately gain 15% and it will trigger her passive that has a 90% on level 3. Plus, if you used her super earlier, you will get the bonus damage, which is 15% here, which is 50%. So 90% and 50%, that's 140%. Plus, if you unleash her C2, she will gain 15%, that's 155%. Bonus damage or bonus attack to the damage, which is really good. Increases the damages respectively, that's good. After unleashing this skill, she will gain 21% after triggering the trigger, which is good, and then it will go to 24%, which is decent actually for a raw damage dealer. Until now, I didn't see anything spectacular about her. She triggers more damage. It means she does her super, she does her C2 or her C3, and she does her super passively again, and it will all ramp up and give you high amount of damage. I would say it's really decent, it's really good, but with defense, damage reductions, and stuff like that, and shields, she doesn't bypass immunities or shields. It will make her lackluster in the bossing damage department, but she's good actually in story mode if you want to use her there. And I will highly recommend building other units. She's not a priority so far. So let's read her C3. Maybe she will become a priority. Perform an upward kick on the nearest enemy. It's an AoE though. Dealing damage equal to 401% of attack. Then deal damage equal to 382% of attack to everybody else, which is good. It means double the damage, the first impact to the front line and then to the other of the team, to the rest of the team. After unleashing this skill, this fighter crit rate will increase by 20% for the duration of the next trigger skill. So when she unleashes the C3 and the trigger happens, it will gain a 20% increase in crit damage or crit rate. Increased damage equal to 400 and respectively. After unleashing this skill, this fighter crit rate will be increased by 28%, and after unleashing, the crit rate will go to 32%. Now let's go and read her cars and read her fighting spirit. because her cars is correlated with her C3. So we're gonna read that and check it out. So whenever you get her to SS and unlock this, she will gain this passive. Upon unleashing a trigger skill, gains 15% lifesteal for 3 seconds. It means while she's doing her skill, she will gain lifesteal. It means she heals herself by herself. Her HP is decent, her attack is massive, her crit rate is okay, and her damage bonus is okay. This is at plus 40. At plus 30, you will have 5% crit rate and crit damage, which is okay, but not that massive. So plus 5. After the assisted fighter unleashes a super combo, increase their trigger damage bonus by 20%. So if they do a super combo, if you have like somebody like Eva Ryu or Gorma Galakan and you use their super, they will increase their trigger damage bonus by 20, damage bonus, not attack only, but damage, all the damage, by 20% until the end of the battle. Or after the assisted fighter unleashes a trigger skill, increase their super combo damage by 20% until the end of the battle. So it means they will use their super. You can use it one time if she's assisted on her. You use the Eva Ryu super, he will gain 20% damage bonus on all of his trigger effects. And then when he triggers, he will gain 20% on his super. So if you want to start with him again, his super will be increased by 20%. That's a 40% distributed as 20 and 20 on trigger attacks and on his super, which is really good actually. Plus 10. Upon hitting an enemy with the trigger skill, reduce the target's damage reduction by 12% for 8 seconds. It doesn't stack up, it's only 12%. So she has damage reduction, so it will make her a little bit better. You can go back to back with the fights, and her trigger skill will deal that, and it will allow you to have a little bit of more damage if you have her with different type of characters. Plus 20. Upon unleashing trigger skill, gain 100% effect resistance. It means no stuns, no burns, no bleed, no nothing for 3 seconds, which is decent if you time it correctly for her not to die. But it's not the pivotal point of her, in my opinion. Plus 30. After unleashing Cannon Kick, which is the C3, additionally increase the next trigger skill crit rate by 25% and the crit damage by 50%, and cause it to deal additional damage that is equal to 40% of attack of this target during the crits. So whenever she's critting, she's gonna gain 50% or 40% more attack for them, and she will have more crit rate and crit damage. Good, normal, not the best deal ever. So, her 3 out of 3, increase this fighter attack by 25% every 8 seconds during the battle, last until the end of a super combo, trigger skill, or combo. So, they didn't say that this will stack up. I saw the damages, they ramp up a little bit, and it's not something spectacular. Still with Fire Adon, with Viper, and with Dhalsim, I did more damages with runs when I got her to triple S. No stars on her, only for triple S. So I need to max her out to check her out on my pay-to-win account. Now, her 6 out of 6, upon receiving fatal damage for the first time, gain damage immunity for 3 seconds. On top of that, she does her damage immunity when she goes and triggers the passive, or she does it at least for once for 3 seconds. She will also gain damage immunity when she takes fatal damage for 1 time. Now, of course, any unit that bypasses damage immunity, such as Visconti Vega, Leonardo, Eva Ryu, stuff like that, or even if you're playing against Zangief and he hit her with her C2, these all will be negated. And unleash Razor Drill level 1 time. This is considered a trigger skill. Level 1, not a level 3 super. She will unleash it at least once, 1 more time. Decent unit. Is she a priority? Not at all. Is she top unit, top tier unit? Not at all so far. Maybe we'll find teams. I need to test her even more. Of course, her soul power will give her more passives and more decent numbers and attack and crit rate. And here in PvP, if you max her out, which is all about the crit rate. Yeah, she's crit rate, which is decent. It's okay, it's fine. But again, she's not a top tier unit. I wouldn't highly recommend summoning her. Go for your characters that you want to summon, and I think you'll be just fine. And yeah, that was it for the video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fly, time to fly.